It was the kind of media attention to a trial that Milwaukee hadn't seen in a very, very long time, if ever. I can remember so clearly the first time Jeffrey Dahmer's initial appearance in court, when he walked in. I think the real fear that people had when they first saw Jeffrey Dahmer was that he looked like everybody else. He was a good-looking young man, and he is not the person that you would look at and say, stay away from that guy.
It would be up to Milwaukee DA Mike McCann to attempt to prove that Dahmer was sane and responsible for his actions.
Guilty wasn't going to be an issue, but we wanted the jury to know enough about the facts, and so did the defense, to say, all right, what really happened here? How atrocious was it? How planned was it? How was he behaving? What skills were involved? He couldn't control himself.
It was a lot to take in because the testimony was so graphic. We all knew Mike McCann. He was a religious man, and we've seen him in court. He was a good attorney. But the kinds of things that he was reciting out of the criminal complaint and the confession were unheard of. These things were unheard of, and they happened right here in our city.
He did it quietly. He concealed the bodies, cleverly concealed, destroyed the bodies, planned it well, laid in the equipment, got the drugs that he used. No one that he worked with thought he was insane. The way he conducted himself was in a way that it seemed that he was sane, and that's what we wanted to get across to the jury.
Mike employed the help of psychiatry expert Dr. Philip Resnick.
The more bizarre the crimes, such as involving cannibalism, the more the lay public wants to think that guy had to be out of his mind. But in looking at it from the actual strict definition of insanity, generally the diseases of paraphilias, like necrophilia, where someone has trouble controlling themselves, are not viewed, for the most part, as diseases which qualify for insanity because of the social implications. One of the points that I made as a consultant is, even if you have necrophilia, and even if you have trouble controlling your impulse, the majority of necrophiliacs will select a setting where they can accomplish this without homicide. So some become assistants in morgues or assistants in pathology labs where they may have access to dead victims. Others will actually disinter bodies after they're buried so that one does not have to actually kill to exercise the necrophilia's impulse, and that's one of the reasons I felt that he didn't qualify for insanity.
The trial was essentially a debate between specialist psychiatrists about the mental state of Dahmer, who sat watching the whole thing play out over 2 weeks.
Dahmer was very calm in court. When you assessing a person by what you see, no one studying him would believe he was insane. He was he was watching what was going on. He wasn't reacting in any negative way. He conducted himself in a very rational way, a very proper way.
This was a case to tell the world that I did what I did not for reasons of hate. I hated no one. I knew I was sick or evil or both. Now I believe I was sick.
On February 15th, the jury had reached a verdict on Dahmer's sanity.